Hey everybody, Amy Christine here, and today we are talking about intermittent fasting. All right, so some of you may have no idea what I am talking about. I know 2.5 years ago, if you had asked me about it, I would have had zero idea as well. And the truth is, if you had asked me to fast, if it wasn't for blood work reasons, my answer would have been, heck no. I did not understand the power of intermittent fasting, and on top of it, I also struggled with my blood sugar dropping really quickly, and so I actually would feel really nauseous and dizzy. There were times when I thought I was going to pass out and I had to quickly shove food in my face. I felt nauseous almost to the point of throwing up, and at that point I was dizzy, had a headache, and all kinds of not good stuff. And I had done everything to kind of help that problem, and no doctors could figure it out. And so it was really confusing for me because I ate really healthy, and I was into health and fitness, and so I was doing the typical, eat 5 to 6 times a day and eating super clean, and I still didn't have much energy and still experienced those energy crashes, and it just didn't make any sense to me. And so if you had asked me to fast or even intermittent fast, I would have said, heck no. Like, I have to eat within the first hour of waking up. It's not an option for me because I would be dizzy and I would feel sick. So coming from me, and now I rave about intermittent fasting and being in ketosis and all of those crazy benefits. You never would have thought 2.5 years ago, I would be talking about this and raving about it. And it actually, along with the ketones, has helped me, and I no longer experience the dizzy spells. I no longer feel sick. I used to stand up and my eyes would actually go black. I couldn't see, and I had to stand there and I would get dizzy. And so intermittent fasting just was not on my radar. I never would have thought of doing it until I started the ketones, and it totally has transformed my health, and I no longer experience that. In fact, I've done the 60-hour reboot, which is a 60-hour fast, and if you had asked me to do that before ketones, forget it. Absolutely not. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of intermittent fasting and why would somebody want to do this. So one is it will use your fat for fuel. So it literally turns your body over into ketosis, and it uses your body fat for fuel. So everybody loves the mere fact of fat loss, right? Plus, it's revving up your metabolism. That old myth of you have to eat every 2 hours to keep your metabolism revved is just wrong. It is wrong, it is wrong, it is wrong, and I apologize if you were one of my clients 3 years ago, because that's what I preached, and science backs this up. And so I want you to know that is a myth, that is not true. Giving your gut a break is actually a phenomenal thing, just for your gut purposes, not just to rev your metabolism. This also boosts energy levels, right? So as we talk about all of the time with being in ketosis, your energy is through the roof because you're running on ketones, which is also your body fat. So it's using your body fat for fuel. Your body always has fat on it to utilize for fuel, so you don't experience those energy crashes. So intermittent fasting also boosts your energy levels throughout the entire day. Also, when you work out in a fasted state, you're burning now all of the stored fat. So that's another huge bonus, a huge win. Fasting also not just promotes the weight loss, or I should say fat loss, but it also helps to build and maintain muscle, right? So that is really hard to accomplish. If you are somebody like me who loves working out, you're looking for, burning the fat and keeping the muscle, and that's very difficult to achieve. And being in ketosis does that for you. And so intermittent fasting comes right alongside of that and helps support that. This also increases your growth hormone secretion. So This helps to balance your hormones. This helps you to, once again, be building your muscles. It also promotes a healthy brain, and it counteracts Alzheimer's, dementia, brain fog, all of those things. Because when you are eating all the time, guys, I want you to think about this. When you're eating all of the time, your blood and your energy is not sitting in your brain. Your blood and your energy goes straight to your gut. So what that means is when you're not constantly bringing all of your energy to your gut, your energy can go to your brain. And so study after study after study has shown that if you are about to, do a presentation, or if you are preparing for a presentation, or you're studying, you don't want to eat beforehand because you want the energy going to your mind and your brain and not your gut. So you want the blood flow to your brain and not in your gut all the time. So make sure that you can use intermittent fasting to your benefit in that way. When you know that and you have stuff you need to get done, it's actually more beneficial not to eat, because then that's why we get that. We always say after Thanksgiving, that turkey, you just want to fall asleep. It's because your energy's in your gut and you're digesting. So that is why. So you want to fast for a healthy brain, more focus, and all of that good stuff. It also lowers your risk of heart disease, which is absolutely amazing. It also decreases inflammation within your body. It builds a better relationship with food. So this helps to curb appetite and curb cravings. So this helps you build a better relationship with your food because you're not always needing and wanting food. When you fast, you have the ability to be in control and really teach your body and learn from your body all at the same time, because you're forcing yourself to not eat, right? And eventually it becomes just a natural thing. It's not difficult. And thank God for ketones, because it makes it even more easy. But it allows you to understand your body. Am I actually hungry, or am I just eating to eat? Am I eating because I'm bored? Am I eating because it's that time of day, right? This is a place where we get to learn our body and we get to really recognize, hey, I don't need that. And I'm actually not hungry. I know it's noon, but I'm supposed to eat right now, but you don't have to. This is an opportunity for us to learn our body. And it's so cool because we get to listen to our body. This also lowers blood sugar. So remember I talked to you about my sugar crashes, my blood sugar crashes, and I would begin to feel dizzy and nauseous, and it wasn't because I just had to eat something. It was because my blood sugar was spiking, right? And because it was spiking and then dropping, having a hard drop instead of having this stable line, I was experiencing that need to I have to eat something, or I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna throw up. I don't know, one of the two, because it's not going to be good, right? So this helps to lower your blood sugar and keep it stabilized. This also, as I mentioned before, guys, helps to restore your gut health. And this is so important because, guys, the amount of junk that we have pumped our gut with is unreal. And that's not because you did it intentionally. That's not because you were like, I'm just going to live on cookies. You don't have to live on that stuff to actually harm your gut. If you're just eating all of the time, you're constantly putting your gut in overdrive, and we need to give our gut a rest. And when it rests, it can heal, right? Just like when our body rests, that's when all of the restoring and repairing happens. We need to give our gut a rest. And so this time of intermittent fasting allows you to do that. And so if this is brand new to you, you want to start small. You don't want to go straight into an 18-hour, 24-hour fast right off the bat. You could, but I highly recommend that you start small. And so most of you are drinking ketones every single day, and so that actually helps you in a way, whereas if you're not going to have that support of just being in ketosis all of the time. And so it may be a little bit more difficult for you to shift into the intermittent fasting if you're not drinking ketones every day. But if you're drinking ketones every day, it shouldn't be too difficult right off the bat as you move through this 10-day challenge, that you're not going to be really hungry until 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I just broke my fast for the first time, and it is 2:30. So, and I felt great. Now I had a ketone, I had a coffee, a black coffee, and I added a little bit of MCT oil to it, our MCT 143, which is incredible also for your brain. So it kind of puts you into that hyperdrive of feeling even better and having even more mental clarity. But I just ate at 2:30, and like I said, you would have never seen me do that before. And so the fasting window can vary, and this is too where I say we get to know our body and we listen to our body. For women, it's really important because around the time of that special time of month that we all love, your body may say, no, you need to eat earlier. And so there have been times when, I break my intermittent fast at like 9 o'clock in the morning, which is not typical for me anymore. But I know my body well enough that when it is saying I need nutrients, I will feed it nutrients. And so we need to transition our mind from thinking I'm just going to feed it something, I'm just going to feed it food, to I'm feeding it nutrients, because our hunger comes from needing nutrients. It's not coming from just give me food, right? So if we're feeding it empty calories, food that is low in nutritional content, then we're going to be hungry again quickly, because our body is saying give me nutrient-dense foods, right? And so nutrient-dense foods are what is found in this earth. And so, that is why I talk and preach about clean eating, because that's where all the nutrients are found. You're not going to find nutrients in the goldfish that, maybe you used to snack on, or that you let your kids snack on. That's not nutrient-dense. And so when you do that, you get hungry again quicker, not because you need to just shove your face. We need to give our body the nutrients it needs. And so when you have the nutrients it needs, you're actually not going to be as hungry. You're not going to want to continually eat. And also ketones, putting you in ketosis, does that very thing as well. It's going to naturally curb your appetite and curb your cravings. So your fasting window, you can start with 12 hours. You really want it to be anywhere between 12 and 20 hours. And so my rule of thumb is just begin shutting your kitchen down at 7:30 and then begin building upon that. It is recommended that you do a full 24-hour fast once a week, and then a 60-hour fast, preferably with our reboot system, once a month. But I will tell you that there are times and places for it. And so if you're in a high stress week or a high stress situation, don't add the fast on top of it, especially if it's your first time, right? And not the intermittent fasting. I'm talking about the long fast, so that the 24-hour or extended fast. Plan it around your life a little bit, but also don't make excuses not to do it, because it actually will elevate you and elevate your energy levels to a whole new place you didn't even know was capable of. So I highly recommend you start small, start with the 12 hours, and then move your way up, right? Maybe push it a half an hour every single day. A typical fast, usually you want to see it between 16 and 18 hours every single day. That's where you want to be at least. And then, like I said, you can add in that 24-hour fast. And so typically, once again, you could push your dinner time up in the day. So let's say you stop eating more around 5:30, and then you push it to the next day. And so you can have your ketones, you can have your black coffee, and then you would break your fast at 5:30 the next day. So you're still having your big nutrient dense meal later in the day, but you are fasting throughout the entire day. And so that is really, really beneficial. That catapults your metabolism as well. And those are things that you really want to begin implementing as a lifestyle, not just as a yo-yo diet, not just as a, hey, I'm doing the 10-day challenge and then I'm done. No, guys, we are here because we want you to build a healthy, sustainable lifestyle that will benefit you and your families the rest of your life and actually lengthen your lifespan. That is something that is super cool about ketones and about what it is that we are doing. So when you break your fast, you do want to keep it, remember, you're having an eating window between 4 to 10 hours, and you want to be eating nutrient-dense foods. That way during your fast, you're not wanting so much nutrients. You don't feel so hungry, right? So eggs, you want salad, you want salmon, you want avocado, you want beef. You know, those are the things that you want to be consuming so that you are keeping yourself energized, you are keeping yourself in ketosis, and you really truly are helping yourself eat the nutrient dense stuff so that when you're fasting, you feel incredible. So it's not just for that moment of eating, it is to sustain you for the rest of really the next 24 hours. So that is intermittent fasting in a nutshell. Those are the benefits of it. That's how you can get started. You guys are all off to a great start here, especially with drinking ketones. That is a huge, huge help. If you are not familiar with the MCT 143, I highly recommend you check it out. It is incredible. It makes you feel even better. You also can check out the keto cream, which you can add to your coffee. Somebody was asking about that earlier, as well as electrolytes. You really, really want electrolytes here, guys. You want to be drinking a lot of water, and you want to be adding in electrolytes. Electrolytes are the very thing that help give you what you need to flush everything out. So even if you're eating healthy and you're drinking water, you could be retaining the water weight. The electrolytes are what help you flush it all out. So if you have any additional questions about intermittent fasting, whether it's where to start or you have specific questions pertaining to you, then go ahead and let me know below and I will be sure to get back to you. All right, guys, have a blessed day. Keep up the great work. I am so excited for you as we continue on this journey together, and really, really try to choose one day, maybe next week, to do a 24-hour fast and to work your way up from now until then to extending that fast longer and longer each day. All right, guys, we'll talk soon.